Yeah, so the log market is quite hot right now here in the Pacific Northwest. So this is a unit I cut here just recently, so the landowner could take advantage of that. It's a beautiful stand. The wood was about 70 years old, really nice quality, very tall. It was beautiful ground too, it was flat, really nice soil as well. So, yeah, it's only about 7 acres, unfortunately, but hey, it is what it was. So. The day I moved into it, it was blowing really hard, and to tell you the truth, I didn't know if I was going to be able to cut, but I'm starting out right here, cutting along the northern boundary line, and I was able to back cut my way in on the stand there and tuck myself out of the wind. The wind was coming out of the south, so I got a pretty good day. It was a little short, but pretty good day in, and I think I ended up having about 15 hours of cutting into it. And it seems like if things go well, it might be 50 or 60 loads of logs that come off the piece. So hopefully the landowner will do well on it. So it was a fun piece. So right here, I've worked my way back along the line, and starting back in on it, on that face, cutting to the east. And it was really working pretty well. But, I was out of the wind, and then this is the second day, and I didn't really think it could blow any harder, but by golly, it was. And this tall wood, like that, I tipped it into the wind, and away she went. This is a short day. The wood was just such nice quality that I saved it out when I cut, but there was just too much chance for breaking it. So yeah, I basically cut my way in on the face, and when I turned around and came back on it, the face had been opened up quite a bit by then. So as soon as the trees got out, about halfway down, the wind hit them and took them. It was blowing hard. So when it's going like that, the only thing to do really is to call it quits. If you're in real timber like this was. And this was just a beautiful stand. 70 years old, that's pretty old wood, really, for kind of the current markets. And it was nice. It was in really good shape. There was a little bit of loss. There was a little bit of wood on the ground. We saw a little bit of root rot in some of the stumps. But basically the stand was mature and in really good shape. Beautiful logs. It went heavy to export, and it was just a good time, and it's great. It's always great when a landowner can take advantage of a really strong market and things work out well. So it was definitely a pleasure to cut. Yeah, the wood was fairly good size too. I always try to cut low stumps. That means quite a bit. I'll be facing wood up, just to get down close to the ground. That helps. It just makes such a big difference, and particularly in tall wood, because low stumps create less of a issue for your fallen timber in terms of that real solid hit, which can break stuff up. Yeah, it's kind of funny. I was thinking about my granddad when I was cutting this, and he had a real big impact on my life, and he taught me a lot of things on how to do things. And I can remember him when I was thinking about this day was he was teaching me how to drive nails as just a little boy, and he'd tell me, you look at the nail, not the hammer. And of course, when it's blowing like this, it doesn't make much difference one way or the other. Had another one go sideways here, but really when you're cutting trees with a buncher, I think that's the same thing. You look where you want the tree to go, or at least I do. I don't look at the head, I look at where the tree, what I call my lay, and then your body and your mind will take over and do the rest of it and put it right there where you're thinking, where you're looking at. But another good lesson from my granddad, you look at the nail, not the hammer. Yeah, so when I was finishing up here, this is still that really windy day, and it was critical to cut into the wind, and that's what I was doing here. I actually even backed up, I think, once earlier in the dark to try to, get a little bit more done. So by doing that, or what I mean by it is that the wind's coming at you, coming at the head, and then you have the full strength of the tower, to back you up. Because in this wood, you couldn't cut with the wind. It would just grab them, take them away. And that will do it too. And, you can have them blow right over you or break right off the top of the tower sometimes if you're cutting into the wind, even on real windy days. Yeah, so I think that was Friday, and here we are hitting it again on Monday. And it's such a relief if you've gotten blown out to show up on the job, get out of the truck and take a second to look around, listen and feel it and have it be calm. And it was a nice calm day. And so yeah, it's just able to jump right into my face, and away we went. This job was basically a rectangle, and I started in the northeast corner, and really the way it was laid out and working around kind of the residents and obstacles and roads and whatnot, I gunned all the tops towards that northeast corner and fanned them around as I went. There was a haul road that went in on the western line. I think ended up being a couple landings on that. So I basically was turning wood the whole job, only being 7 acres, And that turning wood is those of snow, if you're running buncher. It's kind of easier said than done. In tall wood, real timber, it takes a lot of thought and kind of slow operation really to make sure that you're creating a lay with each successive pass, so your trees on the next one can go down in a good, careful manner and save out. But there's just such a difference cutting good wood. Where almost every cut you make is a log tree of some kind versus, where some stands you might run 50% non-merge. These trees are just beautiful. It's a pleasure to cut them. And also a pleasure to see they were opening up, and it really was, they were fully mature. The landowner really hadn't lost anything, but he wasn't going to gain anything either. Second growth wood, it just doesn't, it has a lifespan. And just like any crop, you need to, do the best you can to hit it when the market's right. When the trees are ripe and the market's right. If you can do both of those, you really got something. Yep, so another patch. Hope you find it interesting. And as always, thanks for watching.